Next on Showtime, Rex Harrison, Rosemary Harris, and Amy Irving star in a George Bernard Shaw comedy about the battle between the sexes. It's Broadway on Showtime's Heartbreak House. Next.
I'm Lulu.
Charles, pleased to meet you.
This is not a match made in heaven.
If you were my mother and I brought this guy home as my husband, what would you think?
Very nice. But I'd get rid of those handcuffs if I were you.
But then this is not your average boy meets girl love story.
I've never done anything like this before.
Don't worry, Charlie, I have.
Jeff Daniels and Melanie Griffith star in Something Wild on Showtime.
I lived in New York for 10 years and never fell in love with it. Lived in Los Angeles for 7 months, and that wasn't it either. So my wife and I went back to Michigan, where we grew up. We have a lot of friends who aren't in the business. And it's interesting because back there, if I'd lived in New York when Something Wild opened, or whatever movie you're doing opens, the world stops. It's a major media event. Back in Michigan, living on a lake, it's just another movie at the mall. And yeah, you're in it, and yeah, it's important to you and all that, but it's not, you know, the world doesn't stop.
What begins as a simple challenge
Who is that?
That's Sarah. She was one of the brightest students we've ever had.
becomes a love story beyond words.
I don't know what to say. Tell me what to say.
Look, James, I've seen this kind of thing before. It just doesn't work.
But love can have a language all its own.
What do you hear? No one has ever gotten in there to find out. Did you ever let me in?
Academy Award winners Marlee Matlin and William Hurt. Children of a Lesser God. Exclusively on Showtime.
Bill Harris in Hollywood, I have news for you. Any Michael Jackson fan has to be pleased with the international attention paid Michael's highly successful concert tour of Japan. Michael's appeared on front pages around the world, including the cover of our own People magazine here at home. But while the most famous of the Jackson family was touring over there, did you know the least famous of the Osmond clan was the one behind it all? Donnie and Marie's younger brother, 24-year-old Jimmy Osmond, turns out to be the specialist in international business who masterminded both the Michael mania and money in Japan. Jimmy spent more than 2 years setting it up, getting Michael's act together, and taking it to Tokyo. Bill Murray has a lot of fans and millions of reasons for staying in film, according to a recent column in Movie Line magazine. They noted that Murray would receive no less than $8.5 million for appearing in a big screen retelling of Scrooge, a new treatment of Dickens' classic Christmas Carol. One telephone call to Murray's agent about that reported hefty Scrooge salary got me Hollywood's own version of Bah Humbug. The comment? No comment. Chuck Berry's terrific new combination concert and documentary called Hail, Hail, Rock and Roll disappointed some fans who went thinking they'd learn all about the sometimes controversial and reclusive rock pioneer. Even director Taylor Hackford told us that Chuck held back in some areas he'd promised to talk about, like his family and his jail terms. But there's no one smarter than an old rock star. It turns out the 61-year-old legend was saving some of the good parts for his book. You can now read about everything, including those jail terms, for violating the Mann Act and for income tax problems, in Chuck Berry's new book from Harmony House. It's called Chuck Berry, the Autobiography, and he hits them all, high notes and low. And Hollywood's eyes were on world-famous Fredericks of Hollywood last month. The undergarment clothing specialist, whose brassieres usually stare back at you, had a big unveiling of their brand-new Celebrity Bra Museum. That's right, Bra Museum. Among the items on display, a very fetching bra from Mamie Van Doren, a particularly flat one from Phyllis Diller, and a bra seen in the movie Some Like It Hot. A bra worn by the legendary Marilyn Monroe? No, one worn by the cross-dressing Tony Curtis. Bill Harris in Hollywood with thanks from Showtime. We'll talk again.
I'm Grace Jones. Join me for a very special hour. The story of Island Records, Steve Winwood, Robert Palmer, Cat Stevens, Bob Marley, U2, and me.
Premiering Saturday, November 28th at 10, 9 Central.
Only on Showtime.
In the next 20 seconds, Showtime will present a sampling of the star power coming your way on the MGM Showcase. The MGM Showcase, every day of the week on Showtime.